Thank you very much, Mr. Black. We're now going to do a round of 5-minute questions for members who are here. I'm going to start with myself. Mr. Brody, Finland is a great example of what can happen on this planet. About 3 weeks before the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, my wife and I had the honor of having dinner with the Finnish ambassador at his home. And I had been a longtime advocate for they and Sweden becoming members of NATO. We had a robust discussion, as we usually do. He underscored to me that 70% of Finnish people really wanted to stay neutral. They had a national policy of neutrality, which they said worked out very well for them. And interestingly enough, they are very prepared, even though they're neutral. There's very few countries, I think, as prepared as they are to take an invasion, because it's an all-in with all their citizens. But in any event, we had a nice discussion about it, but he said, nah, they really felt neutral. So about 3 weeks later, which was about a week later, it was after the invasion, I ran into him at another reception. I came across him and said, how's that neutrality thing working? He says, we're in. We're all in. So in that short period of time, they changed dramatically. Then I had the good fortune of being able to visit them last year. And they're a great partner. I mean, as quickly as they came on, as you know, we struggled with one of our so-called allies in NATO, 2 of them, as a matter of fact, to get them in, but we got the job done. And I think you're going to find them really all in. So best wishes there, and I think you're going to find that a not particularly heavy lift, convincing them that looking west rather than east is the way to go. Mr. Puzder, at the EU, what you're going to find is Europeans that are very nervous, which I'm sure you already know. And we spend a lot of time trying to convince them that we are a partner. We're a reliable partner, and we're all in. We have had an argument over defense spending, and as you know, in NATO, all of us agreed, and it was unanimous agreement that we'd spend 2%. And until President Trump took office, only 3 countries had met that 3%. And President Trump, as you know, has a way of speaking directly. And he spoke directly, and the Europeans heard him, and they were offended a bit because his sensibilities aren't the same level as theirs are. But they started writing checks, and now we're into the 20s of the 32 members of NATO. So I hope you'll be able to talk with them about defense spending and convince them that it's got nothing to do with our relationship as much as it does them meeting their obligations. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's essential. Thank you very much, Senator, for that question, and I agree with you 100%. I think it's essential, as the President has stated, that the Europeans be able to defend the European continent. And I was reading Secretary General of NATO's comments yesterday about the need for NATO to step up and be able to defend itself with American help. They talked about America not withdrawing troops, but NATO members needing to step up to now a 5% commitment, which many have stepped up to, I believe, including Finland recently. And as of yesterday, even Canada agreed that it was going to meet its commitment to do 2% 5 years sooner than it had previously committed to do. So obviously as a citizen, I'm not read in on the intricacies of what's going on in the European Union with respect, or in NATO, with respect to defense spending, but I think there is a realization in NATO that they do need to step it up, that the United States has commitments, particularly in the Pacific, that are going to be drawing on our resources. I was reading one member of parliament stating that a country with 450 million people shouldn't be depending on a country with 340 million people to defend it against a country with 140 million people that can't beat a country with 38 million people. So I think there is a realization there that they need to step it up. What I've heard in speaking with people over there is that there is a hope that somebody who actually knows the president and can speak with him comes over there and gives them a direct line. And I think that's one of the advantages I'll have being in the European Union, and I think that'll give me some credibility.
Well, thank you. Although you say you're not read in on this spending, you're going to get read in pretty quick on it.
Yes.
And it's a matter that is discussed regularly every time we meet with them. And it can be a robust discussion, but they are coming around. The momentum is the way you just described, and that is, at first they were quite reluctant. We got a little help from Putin, I'll admit that, but now they understand what way this has to go. Senator